energy body too. That's why I talk about it. A lot of us have been through a lot of hurt. It's the holidays. It's bringing up a lot of hurt for a lot of people. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. This heart space is important, right? So put your hand on your heart. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. You know, everything that you've been through, your heart knows. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, everything, right? And feel love through that, right? You can too. I love you guys. I know it's hard. Your heart is resilient and strong and amazing, I'm telling you. You know, what it does in the energy body lets me know that it's amazing, right? And so our energy centers are all in a relationship, and they meet up in the heart whenever there's something going on, when there's things out of whack, right? Whenever maybe you're taking too much action and not enough connected. Maybe you're too deep in your feelings and not enough in your vision. Maybe you're too self-confident and you're not really speaking that way, right? And so all that meets in the heart and it figures it out, right? With no words. And this is where I love the heart space, and this is why it's kind of hard to talk about, right? Um, so a lot of people, and myself included, are going through some things with relationships, right? Whether that be love relationships or, um, work relationships, friend relationships, right? And the relationships outside of us have everything to do with our internal relationships, right? And so I really do believe that the relations outside of us are teaching us how to kind of fine tune the relationships within us, which is what I have been learning. So, like, as I sift and sort through the relationships outside of me and bring that back to myself and to my heart, I'm learning a lot about my relationship with myself, right? And so I went through a lot of things with this, right? Where maybe I take too much action and someone doesn't take enough action, or maybe the opposite, vice versa, right? Maybe I'm not doing enough and somebody's doing too much, or whatever, right? So the message that I was getting today was about relationships. I can attract relationships that agree with my desires, right? And so your desires are in your heart. And all we're really trying to do is attract relationships that agree with the desires that are in our heart. And then what happens is we run into ones that don't, right? And so we notice that a lot. Like, that's like a big, like, this doesn't agree, right? So on a day like today, a day like the heart, I get real thankful for the relationships in my life that agree with my desires. The relationships in my life that are strong and feel good. Hello, Tata. Um, Today's a day, Sundays are days that I get real thankful, right? So today was supposed to be my day off, but I had a birthday party and I had horseback riding lessons and I had all of this stuff, and I was really tired last night. And so before I went to bed, I meditated a little bit and I was like, oh, like, I know that I am a hustling single mom, right? But like, oh, I just so bad want like one day off. Like, I just want to really relax, really chill. And so I took her to the birthday party, came home. The lady for horseback riding canceled because she's going through something, and she's like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, please do not be sorry. This mom needed a whole day off to rest and relax. Like, I'm doing this video today from my bed because I'm chilling, right? I didn't hustle around. I didn't. I have a bunch of stuff that needs to be done, but it's not like life or death. It's not like right now. I really need to relax. I got a lot of work. This is a really busy season for me, and I'm really needing to relax. So attracting the relationships that agree with our desires. And we're from relationships that we have been through that maybe didn't feel so good, right? And so this message was deep for me, for sure. And so I know it will resonate with a lot of you. I love you too. So much, girl. People are not finding it difficult to find a mate or friends of their dreams because they're not out there, but because of their own contradiction to their own desires and the thought they offer about the subject daily. Self-love talk to me, right? And it's deep. You know, I have been personally going through a lot of things with friends, just girlfriends, guy friends, right? Where they let me down. They hurt me, okay? So, for everybody who says that I'm emotionally unavailable, I'm trying my fucking best, right? It's hard to talk about these things, especially when you know that thoughts, words, and actions create things, right? But this is really a place where I think that we really need to get real. And if you're on here and you want to get real, I love it. But this is like a solution-based getting real. This isn't going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm the victim to bad friends. Oh my gosh, I'm the victim to bad relationships, right? Because you know me, I'm like, it's you and you on your planet, right? So like, if you're in a bad relationship, get out of it. If something doesn't feel good, move, right? Like, and if you're wrong later, it'll come back to you and it'll explain to you, like, you weren't right, right? So we're not finding it difficult to find this mate or these friends that we have in our hearts, right? Because they're not there. They are there. Those people are very much there. Like, through everything that I've been through in my life, love has blessed me with some really great friends. Friends, business partners, family, all of those things, right? But a lot of time, my own thoughts contradict what my heart wants. You ever catch yours doing that? You ever catch, I love you, Lori, oh my god, I miss you so freaking much. Do you ever catch yourself, instead of thinking about what you do want, thinking about the things that hurt you, especially when something comes up that's like, oh man, I think this might be something that I really want, right? And then your mind's like, oh, but wait a minute, remember last time when you had a friend like that and she hurt you and lied to you? Oh, you remember last time when you met a guy like that and he lied to you and he cheated on you and he took you through the mud, right? Those things happen to us. They happen to me. Cheers. When we consistently offer thoughts about future relationships that feel good, when we think them, right, that's what we get. I miss you two so much. We gotta get up together. I don't know, last year I bumped my head, right? And I was like, oh, I love the cold weather. This year I'm like, oh my god, like my pipes are so dry and my skin is so itchy and I just want to go to the beach. And I had an opportunity to go to the beach. Gross, right? I had an opportunity to go to the beach. True's going with her dad this year. I got the opportunity. I have so much other shit that I have to do that I can't even. Like I could if I could, but then I'm learning to rest and I'm learning to chill and not jump all around the place. So we gotta get together, Lori. We gotta go to the beach. Um. So, all right. Are you, when you're thinking about your future relationships, with, I don't know, some of you might be like me, right? I don't have the partner of my dreams yet, right? And I've been through a lot in that department. And so sometimes my thinking about that gets very off. And so what I do is I just shut that all down and I just focus on something that's a little bit easier for me, right? But like, our thoughts have a lot to do relationships like that, we really need to learn how to nurture ourselves through them. Like take a pause, take a rest, nurture ourselves through those things, love ourselves back up to our maximum potential so we can think of relationships, friendships that match our heart's desires, right? And this is hard because life is always going very fast, right? It's like I said, today was supposed to be really super busy, and I finally sat down and thought it stiller. And it happened, right? Think thoughts. When we think the thoughts that feel bad, right? Those are the lessons. Those are the lessons to expand you. Those are the lessons to learn from, right? So anything bad that's happened to me in my life, I'm not the victim. I'm not the victim. I mean, yeah, it's hurt, right? But I'm not a victim to that. Like, I'm the creator of my experience. Like, I create the life that I want, just like you do. You can stay in victimhood for as long as you want. Or you can run, you can nurture yourself back up, and you can really create these things, these heart's desires in your actual life. Now, this all takes a lot of work, okay? I'm not here to say, like, we're just, like, not going to have to really work very hard, and we're just going to automatically have everything that we want. Um, you know, I want love, and I want great friendships. Um, I have attracted some really great friends. I have attracted some old friends that we are getting closer together, some new friends that I never knew before. They're teaching me new things. Um, I've experienced shit, just like you all have experienced so much shit. Um, I know this stuff is hard, right? I had a really great conversation today with a really great girlfriend of mine. She's going through the doo-doo. And, I love you guys. If you trust me to talk about your doo-doo, I have my people that I trust to talk about my doo-doo, and I'm thankful. You know, I believe that inside of us, there's masculine and feminine, um, light and dark, right? There's everything, right? The angels, the demons, all of it is inside of us. Right now, in the feminine sides of us, right now is a time where a lot of the shadows are coming to the surface, right? It's the holiday season. There's a lot of things that are different now, say, than 10 years ago. And people watch me or see me and they think that I'm somehow different or not hit by all of these things, right? I go through the same shit everybody else goes through. Do you spend time with your heart? Do you spend time tuning into your heart? In order to do that, you really have to make some time to be still. I didn't do that very much. I'm a hustler. I hustle all around the damn place. And so when no, you can't touch the music. So when you're hustling all around the place, you don't really make time for your own wishes, right? So in our heads, um, make a wish, right? What is it that you wish? A lot of times the wishes come from the heart's desires, right? And so what's going on is we're coming up into new realities. So when you face the shadows inside of yourself, um, you face the fears, you face the things that you were afraid of, new realities start to come up, right? So new realities come up through past experiences. And so that's why I say that the things that hurt us make us go back into ourselves so we can learn these lessons. Um, do you make some time to enjoy what you created, right? So like today, I'm not right exactly where I want to be, for sure, right? I'm tired. I told you guys that, right? I I'm the one doing it all in here, and so sometimes I need to figure out, okay, like, where am I going to take a break at? Where am I going to? I have to find the ease in it for myself, right? So today I needed to go grocery shopping. I needed to unpack these Christmas boxes. I needed to do some stuff in my bathroom, right? Tired. My mom came to visit with a guy from her work. I just enjoyed all that. I ate some good food. I chilled out a little bit. But then I also took some time to enjoy what I created, right? So I do my healing work. I do my healing work. I do it local. I'm very thankful for that. I have a local team that is just incredible, right? Um, I had to meditate on that for a while, right? Because there's so many other things that my heart wishes to do. Wishes that I was already there. Like, oh, like it's so tiring sometimes. My work is very physical. It's very tiring, right? But this is what I dreamed of from another place that I was at. Um, Today I had to meditate and I had to really breathe in my excitement for my personal enjoyment for where I am at right now, right? Because sometimes I get too busy and I'm like, I give thanks, right? But I don't really like breathe in that thanks. So today I did that and maybe you want to try that. Like, maybe you're not where you wanted to be. And I get that, right? Because do we ever stop? But like, maybe you've come a long way. And maybe it's not even things that people can see. Maybe it's not your job or anything that really anybody can see, but you have faced a lot of shadows inside of yourself. Maybe you, like me, got rid of a relationship that was not serving you. Friendships that weren't serving you, right? That's hard work to do energetically. That's very hard. So, you know, people have this thing where when they're doing like physical work, right, they can rest up. But I tell my clients in Reiki Remix, right, so energy work is like, 20 minutes of energy work is like 5 hours of like working out at the gym. Do we nurture ourselves the right way for that, right? I've come a far way, in my wishes and in what I hope for from my life. I've come very, very far away from when I started, right? From 10 years ago. My baby's about to be 10, so from 10 years ago, I've come a very far, far way. Can you celebrate where you've come in the last 10 years? Can you take a minute with yourself and meditate and breathe in the personal enjoyment, right? It's hard work. It's hard work, right? Can you just breathe that in for a couple minutes? Like, instead of thinking of getting hard on yourself, like, oh my gosh, it should be here, 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 and here. Can you just breathe in where you are from where you came from? We have to know that it's possible. The things that we wish for from our hearts, like, our heart wouldn't have that wish if it wasn't possible for us to do that, right? Sometimes you might not want to do the work it takes, and that's fine. And there's no judge to that, right? Like, I don't think your heart judges you, and I know I don't judge you, and sometimes you don't feel like it. But I know physical outlets really help us with passionate pursuits. And so that's another thing. Today I had to breathe in. I'm super thankful for my baby sister, right? She quit smoking cigarettes, quit drinking, did all kind of things, inspired the hell out of me, right? Right before her birthday. And we had this talk that we were going to start working out. No big deal, not gym memberships, not all of that stuff, just little home stuff. So today, even though I have been tired, even though I have been going through a lot of stuff, I did my little sit-ups, I did my little push-ups, I did my stretching out, right? I missed yoga with my friends, but I did it here. So we all have passionate pursuits. We all have things that we really, really want to do. And sometimes just getting a little bit physical helps so much. I'm not saying go do these huge things at the gym, go sign up for the gym and buy all the clothes and the cups and whatever. We don't need to do all that. What can you do with where you have? You have a chair. Can you do some chair lifts? Can you do some squats? Can you do some sit-ups? Can you do some push-ups? Can you do some things like that? Um, it doesn't have to be big time, right? We really need to protect and defend our own vision, right? There are a bunch of people out here just that aren't good, right? There are. There just are. I've been talking about it for a couple months now, and it's not really what you think, right? A lot of the people who have been not good to me, they smile in my face. They smile in my face, and that's okay because I'm thankful because I have ones that are good, right? That maybe other people might look at them and be like, not so sure about that person. I don't care because in my heart I know who's good for me and I know who's bad for me, right? Protecting and defending your visions, that's an internal thing, right? So, in this last year, I learned I can't tell everybody what's in my heart, right? I share things with you briefly. Um, I'm learning to stand my ground and protect my visions and defend my visions, right? Um, strengthen our solutions, our resolve, right? So I said, we can get on here, we can talk about what's going on with our hearts, right? Maybe the people that let us down and all of that stuff, but it's a solution based talk. It's not going to be like, oh, we're the victim, right? You're not the victim. Anything bad that you have gone through is just so you can see that you weren't really going toward your heart's desires. Maybe you got caught up. Maybe you got sidetracked a little bit, right? I know I did. I know I did. And and so the bad things that come up, even though they hurt, right? Like I'm talking like 30-year friendships, 20-year friendships, somebody I loved so much and thought was going to be my partner for the rest of my life, like big deal things, right? Big deal things are happening. But that's because I wasn't going in the direction of my heart. That's because like those things that were happening, they were getting me further and further away from my vision for myself, my wishes for myself, my heart's desires, right? And that's easy to do. We need to deal with our fears and our challenges head on. And I see a lot of people doing that. And I give you a lot of love if you're doing that because, facing these fears head on is not easy. And it's the kind of thing that will make you need to rest, right? That's energy work. I think, that's like 20 minutes of facing your fears is like 5 hours in the fucking gym. This is what I'm talking about. But it isn't a physical outlet. I'm just explaining that to you in energy purposes. And so, you know, physical things will help us with passionate pursuits, but we have to really understand what energy work is, what we're doing when we're doing this energy work in on ourselves. And I'm an energy worker, and so I try to help you guys understand that, when you're facing your fears, it's very normal to get tired, exhausted. Um, we're trying to set ourselves free. And you say, like, from what? What are we setting ourselves free from? From the feeling of control, from the feeling of manipulation, right? That's what's been coming up for me in the past couple months. And we could say, like, oh, yeah, I'm the victim to control and manipulation, but, like, really, you are the captain of the ship. And so, if somebody's trying to control you, you have every right to walk out. If someone's trying to manipulate you, you have every right to change the lane, to end the thing, right? We're trying to get free from control and manipulation from others and our own selves. So that's what I mean about, it's not difficult to find the mate and friends of your dreams. The control thinking that we can't have that, thinking that we can't have our dream partners, thinking that we can't have these wonderful friends that we can trust, right? We do this to ourselves, and this is an old, long time pattern that a lot of us are working on. We need to really release control. Like, we're trying to control how we get to our heart's desires. Like, I do a meditation that says, like, imagine that you can do, have, or be anything in this world, right? And because I know, the first thing that most people think of, they think of what they want if they could do, have, or be anything in this world, right? But then the very next thing they think about was, how am I going to get there? How am I going to have enough money? How am I going to get to that place? How am I going to, that's the way we get in our own way. That's the way that we, control and manipulate our own selves and our heart's desires. And so the freedom that we want is we want to get out of that. Dream big for yourself and dream big for your planet. And allow the angels and the guides to help you. So another thing, every single day when I wake up, and sometimes I forget, I call in all my angels and my ancestors and my guides for my highest and greatest good. And then they come in, right? Because when you ask for them, they come in, right? But do I always allow them to help me? Or do I try to take control? I try to take control a lot, right? Control freak. I do, right? Because I believe that it's like my job to get my life where it needs to go, but I don't realize that there's other forces out there. So, receiving help. Receiving help is a big thing for me that's tough, right? And so people have been saying lately that I am emotionally unavailable, that I, um, like they can't tell like what I'm feeling. And here, for like 6 years, I've been working on vulnerability and like telling people how I really feel. And so I get to like the other day and I'm like, am I doing anything right? Um, Receiving help is a big one that I have been working on. Delegating authority, interdependence. Interdependence is something I've been definitely actively working on for like 4 years. People need other people, right? We do. We really do. But a lot of times, like what I have been going through is like I'm so independent almost to a fault, right? And then I've trusted people and they've let me down, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to open up to this person, they let me down. Go back into your heart. Please go back into your heart. Um, we need others as much as they need us. And I really, that always is getting thrown back in my face, right? Because I do healing work, and so, um, you know, somebody will tell me like, oh my gosh, I needed that so much, or like, it's so nice to be able to tell you about anything, and so, you know, in allowing support to come in takes a big amount of vulnerability, right? And that's speaking up about your needs. People can't read our minds, right? And so this has been like a huge lesson to me, right? And sometimes I have a hard time, and I would rather just do it in this heart way, right? So I said the heart speaks dope. You don't have to use any words. There are a bunch of things I need. There are a bunch of things that I've been through. I love the people on here that get really, really vulnerable because I'm learning through them, right? And so a lot of people say, oh yeah, I hate social media, all this other stuff. I don't at all. If I don't like something or don't resonate with it, I just don't fuck with it anymore. But there are a lot of people doing a lot of things that I admire, right? Because it takes me to be damn near dead to ask for on shifting our expectations. That whole emotionally unavailable expectation thing, I've been talking about this for the last couple weeks. I never really try to have expectations on people because then that will leave you feel like you're let down, right? I expected my friends to be good friends to me. I expected my relationship to be a good relationship. I expected, what I desired in my heart to continue to grow, right? And it didn't. And so shifting your expectations is a big thing, right? So like not really think stuff on it. So like when my friends weren't good friends and it didn't feel good anymore, to be able to shift from like, okay, I expected them to be good friends, they weren't, now let's go move on, right? Let's go rest up and attract some new friends. I expected my relationship to be good. It wasn't, now let's heal up, let's go move on. I'm trying in this emotionally unavailable thing. It's the retrograde, right? So a lot of my exes have come back into my life, and we've been talking about some things, and I love them, right? It didn't work out, but I love that, I'm able to still be friends with exes of mine, right? And I can learn these things because I really do want to attract my best friend, a partner, right? From a place of a lot of years ago, my best friend, my partner, died. Okay? So, like, I've come a long way if you even try again. Um, there comes a lot of, like, apologizing to self, right? Apologizing to self for all the years that I thought my soulmate died and there's never going to be another one, right? I spent years in that energy. Like, that takes a lot of apologizing to self. Like, I'm sorry, self, that I put you through that we don't have anybody because this person's not here. Um, being thankful for it all, right? And so, what am I thinking? Am I thinking, like, there's nobody out here because my soulmate died 15 years ago? Or, think of all the things that he made me feel with accumulation of the other times that I tried, right? So you take what resonates, you leave what don't, right? So you take all the things that felt good, and I'm going to put that into my dream partner, my dream friendships, right? And then you take the things that don't feel good, and you shift that, right? But what a lot of people have been going through in this is that they're losing sleep. They're losing sleep over people that they can't trust and things that they can't trust. They're feeling like they're not progressing, right? So maybe if you're in a place where you feel like you're not progressing, this is the time to be a little bit more still. People are feeling like it's a hard time to uh, go out and like rejoin life. Right? I get that. Not only did it happen to me like big huge, but it still has happened to me in little small ways throughout the time. You have to take as much time as you need, right? You have to take breaks. You have to take as much time as you need. You have to rest. I'm a hustler, super thinker. I have to rest a lot. I take a lot of necessary pauses. I'm getting better at that. I was not always good at that. I would need to take a pause and I would just go, 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 go until I burnt the hell out. Come on, calm me down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Relax. Relax. Sit down. A lot of us are very frustrated over circumstances that are out of our control. I get it, right? I lost the love of my life like 15 years because sometimes when I'm trying these things and they're going wrong and all of these things, I can't even lie to you. Like, I tune into me and I get mad at him all over again. Like, what the fuck did you leave me here? Like, this lifing thing is so fucking hard without you. And he just laughed at me. Pretending that we don't get what we want. We do get what we want. It's up to us what we think about, right? Do you think about all the bad things that happen? All the people that let you down? All the shit that you've been through? All the people that you can't trust? All the people out there trying to manipulate you? Sometimes we don't get what we want because our heart is trying to protect us from pursuing what's not for us. That's big, huh? You know, rest, recovery, retreat, meditate. Those are the things we gotta do, man. We have guides in our hearts, and a lot of times we're moving too fast. We're thinking too much. A lot of people are thinking about intimate connections being off, right? Friendship, partnership, it's all in us. And it's all about what we're thinking about. And I know, and I'm saying this message because I don't always get it right either. Like, yes, I have a great team in my life, and yes, they inspire the shit out of me. And I'm super thankful that I'm not where I think I should be sometimes, right? And that's okay. That's okay. A lot of us are wishing for the emotional connections that we desire in our hearts, but then instead of like staying in that lane, we're thinking of all the things that hurt us. You know, so just think, like, are you in joy or are you in fear of losing what you have, right? You know, because like going through the things that I went through with my friendship, I can't lie to you. I have a great team in my life, right? And going through what I went through with my really good friends, I was like, oh my god, what if my team does this to me? Like, these are 30-year friendships. Like, people I really thought that I could trust. You know, these are new people. What if they do the same thing to me? And then, like, it's easy to just be like, and, like, try to cut every single thing off. But that's not what it's about. Right? You can. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. But that's not being in joy about attracting the team. That's about me being in fear because of what I've been through, right? So do I think all the things that went wrong in my relationships, right? Or do I just enjoy what I have right now? Do I be in joy for what I have right now? Think about that. Clinging to the inner wound manifests a desperation that can never be fulfilled, right? So when you think about the wound, when you cling to the wound, when you hold on to that thing, that manifests a desperation, and nobody will ever feel that. You know, when I was clinging to losing the partner of my dreams, I didn't even give anybody any place to try to be a partner in my life. You know, it was like nobody could come in. It was like a block. Self love is a magnetizing energy, right? So whether that's in your mates or your friends, right? The amount that we love ourselves is the amount that our mates love themselves, is the amount that our partnerships different things. And sometimes we might be really good in certain areas at loving ourselves, and sometimes, we might fall short or fall off, and that's okay. Self-love is the key. Self-love is what helps us. Filling back up your cup, nurturing yourself. You know, close your eyes, right? In your mind's eye, see your emotional experience of love outside of yourself. Close your eyes. See that. Knowing how to relate to the issue is the issue. What are you really experiencing around love and connection with others? This is a time where you get really real with yourself, right? If it's good, then it's good, right? If it's not good, then it's not good. We have to be real. Minnie, sit down. And, how I know about this is you'll either have a flow or a tightening, right? And that's not them, that's you. That's coming from inside of you. You are understood. Everything you've been through is very understood. Everything that you've experienced is very understood. And we are leading through example in the heart, right? We're fine-tuning the pathways to success. That's what we're doing. Success for what our hearts desire. You know, meeting somebody who was my best friend and the love that we shared and the ease of it all, right? I can think about, oh my gosh, he died, God took him from me, all of these things, but really, I believe that I'm just fine-tuning my pathways to success and love. Now, 16 years later, right? There's a lot of self-reflection that goes on in this journey of attracting the things you want. Close your eyes and see yourself doing your best. I've messed up 100 million times along the way. I've hurt people's feelings. They've hurt my feelings. We didn't mean to. Admit what's most important to you. You don't have to admit it to the world. Admit it to yourself. Ask the angels and the ancestors, your highest and greatest good, to guide you. There's a power in taking action in your life. That's the action to take action. We're manifesting our thoughts and desires into reality. We are the shapers of our destiny. We all mess up. And then we have to get back on. You settle down. We have to ask for signs, right? We have to ask for signs. Am I going the right way? Am I worried about the wrong things, right? Am I doing all of the things? Am I taking enough action for the things I really desire in my life? Using the right tactics for my at-that list. Today was a big day for me to celebrate my heritage, right? I never really knew anything about my heritage. I'm Native American, never really knew about it. I knew a little bit about my mom's side, didn't know anything about my dad's side. They give up strength. If you know or if you don't know, they're still feeding you strength. They don't want us to live in the past. They want us to be a living example of their legacy. Embodying this inheritance is what would heal the future generations. I know what it's like to not know where you come from. So if you're like that, please know that they're cheering you on. Even if you don't know what it is, adaptability helps. We're hate, right? Close your eyes. Put your arms wide open. What energy surges through you, right? You don't have to know the name of it. Feel it. I did this today. All these meditations I did. Breathe and see what you're manifesting. Inhale it. Feel it. See yourself being there. Right? I've done a lot of things up until now. Still so much more I want to do. That's what happens when you create your life, right? You don't just like get there and like arrive, right? You have so many things you want to do. I love you guys because we're all connected, man. I know that this shit is hard. I know that what we carry is hard. I know that, what we've been through makes it hard for our heart. Recognize the sacrifices that were made for your ancestors for you to get here where you are right now, right? There's been a lot. There's been a lot of suppression of women that I have been working out, right? And now I'm a strong woman, right? They did all that for me to be here. Our health is important, right? That's the root of us. Our heart health is important. Our physical health is important. Our spiritual health is important. Our mental health is very important. Say, universe, I am your beloved conduit for radiance and grace. This is an auspicious time, favorable time for us. But it can be easier sometimes to think about all the stuff that went wrong, all the stuff we messed up. Aligning ourselves and our energy with the earth is walking in harmony with nature, right? And what does that mean? For me right now, it's winter, it's getting dark earlier, I go to sleep earlier, it's getting light earlier, I wake up, it's about really lining up with nature. Old things are dying, it's beginning to be winter, right? So everything's not so alive here like it was, everything's dying off, it's getting in tune with that, getting in harmony with that. We just gotta give our best. Gather a tribe that makes us feel good. You have to become alert and sharp to challenges and conflicts. We're all going through this, right? Figure out a more, where is our competitive nature? I mean, it's just a natural thing, right? I'm competitive. We had a cookie contest yesterday. I just wanted to win, win, win. That's all in fun, right? A lot of people are competing about some real serious things out here. A lot of people are competing with each other, and it's not even like in their heart's desires. I have a lot of people that compete with me in energy work just because of me, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I wish this wasn't one of my heart's desires because I don't even want to compete with you in this. A lot of people are keeping really rigid for these things, right? Very stiff because people have hurt them and let them down. Don't let them win. Don't let them dull out within your heart. What's your idea about? I love you. Sometimes the people come in and they hurt us because they want to see if we'll give up. It's just like energy, want to see if you'll quit. I call a lot on Mother Mary, and today I did that this morning before I even peopled anywhere, before my daughter even woke up. To me, she's the embodiment of unconditional love and compassion. Mommy's really tired. She doesn't really want to today. So, in thinking about it, the girl canceled, so it wasn't my fault. Mother Mary encourages me to keep moving forward with my heart and my desires. Keeps me unconditionally loving through the hurt that I go through. So, I mean, you don't have to tune into this the way that I tune into this. I'm just sharing this with you. She protects me, she guides me, she supports me. You know, she helps me to open my heart and make me aware of the blessings in my life. You know, where I was feeling really tired and really like, I'm not really where I would want to be or thought I was going to be. You know, when I tune into her and I meditate on her for a little bit, she's like, hold on a second, girl. Look where you're at. Look what you've been doing. Look at who you're surrounded by. Look who you came from, right? You know, you're a blessing. You, the things you've been through, all your heart's desires through all of that, that's a blessing. It's our time to explore and experiment. Explore and experiment your heart's desires. Explore and experiment your approach. Energy works for you. We need to open our minds. If you're being guided a certain way, go try that. You can change your mind at any time. I've tried all kind of things along this way. Some things don't resonate, some things really did. Our opinions change as our knowledge broadens, right? And so maybe what was for me, you know, 6 years ago in the casino, I'm thankful for that though, because it helped to get me where I am today and who I am today, right? I'm really good at deep tissue massage and endurance and things like that because of the casino. You know, people feel like it's like a never-ending story, like this loop, 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 loop. The patterning, right? But I want you to think about it. You self-criticize. Wounded ego, unnecessary drama, do you see that in your life? You know, our story is woven through imperfect fabric of life. Our whole story, right? It tells a story of hurt, loss, rejection, humiliation, self-loathing, arrogance, all the suffering that we were born of, unnecessary drama, old patterns. That's the story of us. But that's not true. That's not all true, right? Because in between all that, you have some really great moments. And so do you think of the whole story, or are you just thinking about, like, the sad part? Are you thinking of the whole story, or are you thinking about the good part, right? Because you need to take a collective of it all. You know that voice that tells you the sky's falling? That voice is just one small, scared, conditioned part of us. That part is like the stuck part, the lie. It wants to protect you. It needs to be seen as a victim. And we all have this. It's distorted guidance, and it's preventing us from being true to our own selves. And we all have this. You are not your story. And this little small voice, this narrator, is the voice of the fearful part. heart wants powerful. It's more powerful than all the things that hurt you and all the things that you've been through. You know, these shadows that are coming up this month, it's a lot of shame. It's a lot of fear of intimacy, low self-esteem, many great challenges, right? They're going to come up. Comparing ourselves with others. We need to love ourselves through our mistakes, not self-sabotage when things actually do go great, right? We're going to have people that are going to come into our lives and fall out of our lives all the time. And it's going to take you as long as it needs to take you, and there's no time limit or time frame. Try to use criticism constructively. Stop telling the story altogether, right? Just stop. I used to tell the story all the time about losing the love of my life and I'll never find my other soulmate and blah 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 blah, and I had to quit telling that story for a long time. I used it today as a reference to this video, right? Just to show you that I also do it too. That I had to quit telling that story because I really do want my partner, right? I really do want to be surrounded by friends who feel good. You have to make up a new story. A whole new story. The universe loves you deep. And it's just waiting for you to figure it out. Avoid drama at all costs. That's my message today. Other people's shit. Everyone's going through some sensitivity overload, right? We lost people that we love, that we wish were here for this time. Just keep telling yourself, not my circus, not my monkey. You know, you can have compassion for somebody and not take on everything that they're going through. You can listen to their story and then tune back into what are your heart's desires. What does your heart desire? That's the lane you're supposed to be in. You know, for a long time when I was missing the love of my life who died, I was tuning into a lot of people who thought the same way, right? And so I'm like, oh, we're like all the same. But now that I want to be in this new lane, I had to switch lanes. I know because we're all connected, man. I know this shit is really hard. I know this season is really hard. Going down in the name of love. You have to protect your heart's desires. You have to protect your